Hello and welcome everyone to today's class. This is Big Bull here. Today we're going to learn about how you can trade SPY every single day. Some of the strategies I'm going to teach you. You can use this on swing trading, you can use it on intraday time frames, but mostly, if you would like to trade SPY or Qs or any liquid names that are out there, especially in options, you can definitely trade these names using this strategy here. So let's get right into it. Let's open the SPY chart. I think I did talk about this one in the past, but I will briefly talk about it. How I trade this strategy. I will talk about one or two strategies here, so you guys will have a couple of tools in your toolbox to look to get a trade on intraday basis, especially on SPY, where you can easily catch 20 to 40% moves using this strategy. Most of you are probably familiar with this one. It's called opening range breakout strategy. It's a ORB 30-minute. I go on a 30-minute time frame. I also made this indicator called Bull's Corner ORB. We'll probably release it sometime next week or in 2 weeks, but there's no hard and fast rule to mark it by yourself. It's just you mark the highs and the lows, you wait 30 minutes, and then after waiting for 30 minutes, then you wait for the price to break either highs or the lows of that particular opening range, and then you take that trade. Either side could be upside or could be downside. So right here you can see a lot of 30-minute ranges on my chart, marking by this green and red. I can show you a couple examples. So you're just basically trading break and retest in a smaller time frame. So on a 30-minute time frame, you're gonna mark the opening range high and opening range lows, and then you're gonna wait for price to break out or break down. So now let's look at, we already have these levels marked, and then let's go to smaller time frame, 15-minute or 10-minute time frame. So this was easy 30-minute range formed, price breakout. This is where I'm gonna go long. Stop loss again, as long as price is staying above the opening range highs, that means price is bullish, and or you can get it on the retest right here, a good retest here, and then price went higher. Good example on intraday time frame, another 30-minute range formed, breakdown, sniper retest on it, and then went to the downside. This one, I think this example we already know, but price did close above on a 15-minute time frame, but next candle closed below. Either you can play the fake out, and this is what we learned in the last class. I will upload this video tonight. Is how you can trade the fake out. So this was just a fake out. Once I was in calls, breakout, and then closed below. That's the clear fake out. I don't want to be in a trade anymore. And candle closing below 30-minute range, 30 minutes ORB, and then next candle is retesting the fake out level. This is where I took my entry, and then closed below. Let's say even if you missed your entry on that fake out retest, but what else you can do? You can wait for price to break below this 30-minute range low, and then candle close below on a partial retest, get an entry, and then price is going down. A lot of examples here. Even this one for 17th October, 30-minute range formed, breakout above, retest, and then went higher, and then right here. So it basically works 60 to 70% of the time. Obviously not gonna work every single day, but as you can see, but if this is something you can definitely trade on the daily basis to scalp for the good moves like today. Today this 30-minute range formed, candle closed above, retested it, and then went higher. That is the easy 20 to 40% move. And then what happened afterwards, this is where I grabbed puts today. I was watching this 30-minute range, candle closed below this 30-minute range, retested it. This is where I told you I lettered the puts, and then price went to the downside. Or less, even if you missed it, candle closed below, partial retest, and then went to this next demand zone right here. This is where price bounced. So easy peasy, no hard and fast rule. All you have to do is identify this opening range highs and opening range lows, and then go in a smaller time frame, 10 or 15 minute, and then you can trade this opening range breakout strategy. And then how do you choose your exits? I already told you that exits are pretty simple on this one. Is as long as price is staying above, let's say you're trading 10-minute time frame or you're trading 15-minute time frame, as long as that particular time frame candle is not closing below either opening range highs or closing above opening range lows, I'm gonna be staying in the trade. But as soon as it's closing below, that means there's a high chance that it's gonna be a chop day or it's a fake out, right? So like today, right here, as long as price is inside a 30-minute range, there are high chances we're gonna chop. So that's also a good indication, for just to sit on hands. If you see price is not going anywhere and it's still staying in that range here, especially this was a JPOW day, so obviously no one's gonna trade this one. Hard to trade. And then we got this 30-minute fake out, and then we also learned how to trade fake out. So it's if you combine this support and resistance and fake out strategy all together with this opening range, because guys, what happens is, because it's a very common strategy that everyone uses out there, and then we can assume that market makers do know how the dumb money or retails are trading this setup. So what they can do is they can grab that liquidity as soon as price is breaking below the opening range lows here, and then quickly closing above, retesting it, and then starts going higher. This is where a lot of people are gonna stop out, or this is where most people are gonna go short. So they are grabbing liquidity on both sides and then pushing it higher. And that's why I like to trade more fake outs than the breakouts. Only when I see it happening, if candle is closing above my level, I'm not gonna go ahead and short it right away, because I'm expecting a fake out. I'm only gonna trade the fake out once the candle is closing below or above the level, and then on that retest, where I showed you guys a lot of examples on the particular fake outs the class that we had, right? And then again, guys, you can combine it with support and resistance, right? And then you can also combine it with the magnets too. You don't have to, let's say these were the magnets right here, 8 and 5 and 8 magnets. Let's see if I can. So 8 and magnets right here. You guys know that it's day one. Is, let's say price is breaking out, it's retesting. As soon as retesting, we have over 5 and 8 magnet support. At that point, I would assume that there are high chances that now we have magnet support or magnet resistance. At this point, I can take an entry on that retest. For sure, which definitely going to add an extra confluence for in taking an entries on your this opening range breakout and breakdown setups, right? So that was the opening range breakout strategy on SPY. And then now let's look at some of the daily levels to trade. So again, guys, so there's one other strategy, it's a kind of a macro thing, which in which you can make your bias. There are no technicals involved, but you can just make up the bias according to by looking at the market sentiment charts. So this is what I follow. I will let you guys know how do I use it on SPY or any other particular sector out there. But if you guys follow this, you can definitely snipe some tops and bottoms using this strategy alone, following this. All you have to do is you're gonna have to there's a 10 or 15 names out there. You're gonna have to chart it every single day, or you don't have to chart it. Just gonna look into it, and then let's say you wanna get into a swing, and then you're working daytime, and then you cannot really take day trades and only want to get into swings on a different sector. So this is where this one will come gonna come in handy. So you're gonna have all these tickers. Let's say Nasdaq above 50-day moving average. How many percentage of stocks are above 50-day. What are the percentage above 5-day, what are the percentage above 100 and 200. And so but I for swings I would mainly follow 5-day on every sector. So that's why I have this 5-day for every single sector out there. As you can see, S&P stocks above 5-day moving average. That means this whole 500 stocks in S&P is going to track it. And then as you see, as soon as prices always coming to this 4 to 5% range, we always see a bounce. So that's why we're seeing the bounce the past in 2 or 3 days. Let's say you are short in the market and you are short biased, but then you go ahead and look at this chart here, which is S5FD daily chart, and you see already, it's hitting 2%, which is very rare. This is where we always see the bounce. And then let's say it's also at above 90. When it's above 90, that means everyone's bullish, everyone's expecting the market to go higher. And then and this is where this indicator or this particular percentage comes in handy. On TradingView, yeah, they have it for everything. This is for NASDAQ. This is NASDAQ 50-day. This is NASDAQ 5-day. Look at the NASDAQ stocks hit 5%, and then today 46% of the stocks closed above their 5-day moving average. So that means half of the NASDAQ stocks are oversold, and now we got the big bounce today on these names, and then it looks like closed in the supply zone today, right? So you can definitely you can use these according to you. And yesterday I did post about materials, about the material sector, that there are high chances we can see a big pump in the material sector. And then look what happened today. FCX, copper is the main one, and then huge pump up 3%. If you go look at some of the material sector here, I can show you right here. If you guys follow me on Twitter, look at this material sectors today. Yesterday, only 3% of the stocks, only not even 3%, under 1% of the stocks were below 50-day moving average. That means every single stock in the material sector, it was below the 50-day moving average. What are the chances of not getting a bounce at that point? Look at it today. Every single stock, it was green today. The percentage was only 1%, and then today it jumped to 50% on the materials. Just by looking at it. So you see every single name is green out there. So you can definitely have a bias looking at this. I'm going to give you one more quick tip, is you can definitely chart these names on TradingView, but if you want to have a live on intraday basis, because this TradingView updates it after the close, and which is definitely not so helpful when you want to get into a trade right before the market closes. Then what you can do, you can head to barchart.com, and then you go to their stock options, their stock, and then after stock you go to S&P sectors. You click on S&P sectors, and then this is where you would find all this under this S&P sectors. You can see 5-day moving average or 20-day moving average, the stocks above, which updates live every single minute, something like this. Those I'm recording, so you guys not gonna see it in the recording, but I'm posting it in the Discord, so you guys can see how it changes real time on the barchart.com. So definitely helps a lot in your bias. So that's the reason I was expecting a material sector to get a pump, and I was expecting to overall for a market to get a pump. And at the same time, let's say you want to analyze the longer time frame. Let's say the market, how do you know that market is gonna be at the top, or for a couple of weeks, or market is bottom now for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, is to looking at at that point I'm going to look at 5-day, because 5 is definitely going to be a lot of movement. But if you zoom out at 50-day, at 100-day, there's obviously going to be less movement. And then now if we look at 50-day moving average right here, right in when price was in July or August, what happened is price hit 90%. So 90% of the stocks were above 50-day moving average in the NASDAQ alone. And then every single time we hit that percentage back in August in 2022, a massive dump came in. That means a massive correction came. And then back in December, last year, massive correction came too. and then it went back into February. We got a good correction, and then right now in August, that's why I was pretty sure. I was looking at all these all these indicators out there, and then I was pretty sure that there are high chances, there are no way the price is 90% and everyone is bullish, and then price is almost near all-time highs, and there are high chances we got a dump. And look what happened, price went back to this 10%, and then what happened at 10%, we always get a bounce, even though I do expect still one more low in this one. So let's say price is going at only 2%, which was back in September and October, when everyone was so bearish in the stock market. And then look at the bounce in the Nasdaq names. Only 2% of the names were below were above 50-day moving average, and that means that was easy longs at that point. And then where would you exit? You would exit definitely when price hits 90%, or even price hits 50 to 60% range. This is where you can take profits on your swings. So definitely helpful if you want to do a swing trading on SPY or any other sector. So let's say this one was this one was for telecom, and this one is for staples names. So basically every single S&P sector out there, you can find it for that particular sector. And then you can use 5-day, 50-day, and 100. So these are the three main ones I use. You can also put in 20 in there, if you wanna it depends. You can make your strategies according to that. And then you can once you identify that healthcare stocks are down a lot, only at 3%, and then what I do is I go ahead on the bar chart, and then I see what are some of the names are getting more volume. Let's say identify 5 or 10 names are getting more volume when price is only at there's only a 3%. That means those names, those are getting more volume, high chances of that those are names which are gonna get get the pump. And when this starts to inverse here, and then this is what happens. And then you identify 5 and 10 names, and then you go to their options, and then you look at look at some of the liquid names out there, and then you go ahead and then trade those liquid names according to your risk management. Any question on this one? Yes, this was an easy one. Not many people talk about it, but this is something that I wanted you guys to know, that this is a one way you can definitely swing trade to on different sectors on S&P 500 or Nasdaq or Russell. Energy should be there. Energy names, yeah, there are energy names. If you go to S&P sectors right here, so a lot of the energy names are sold out. So we can definitely expect a bounce. If you look at right now, energy 5-day is almost every single name in energy is below 5-day right here, as you can see in the screenshot. Right, so there are high chances we can see a bounce in energy names for for a day or two, and then probably back down. So guys, these are the two main strategies that I wanted to discuss with you today on how you can swing trade, and then how you can trade intraday using opening range breakout strategy. You can use this on any name you want. Now let's look at let's say if you want to trade Apple, just for example, and then I pull out this opening range breakout strategy on 30-minute. And then you see, as long as price is staying in this box, high chance you're gonna get a chop. And then look, as soon as price is breaking out, retesting it, and then going higher, easy longs and easy shorts. 30-minute range formed, breakdown. This is where to get our first entry on the retest, going back there, retesting it, rejecting. This is where we get our second entry, and then the dump. Right? And then opening range formed, price went higher, and then right here closed below, retesting it, and then coming to the downside. So not if price is not closing below, that means high chance is going to be a chop. I'm not trading it unless price is getting out of that range. As you can see here, breakout, retest. So it works on almost every single name out there. It depends. You need to tweak it a little bit according to according to the supply and demand that you learned, and support and resistance. And obviously, if you have a bullish bias, you can definitely look at the indicators that I just showed you. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I know this is a short class, but I think it's a really informative one. Again, if you guys have still any questions, do let me know in the chat or DM me. I'll be happy to help. Again, thanks for joining. I will catch you guys again tomorrow with another class. Have a good day, everyone.